What's up guys, Shane here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Taliyah jungle. One of my favorite junglers for her clear speed, her one-shot ability, her mobility. Of course, you know, she's one of the all-time favorite junglers back when she was really OP. And now she just got buffed in patch 10.25 and she's pretty much the same jungler as before. She does less damage than I think it's Season 9 Taliyah. Back then she was extremely strong, and I'm going to walk you guys through how to play this champion. First things first, runes. Dark Harvest is the best, but Electrocute also works. Dark Harvest, Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, and Ravenous Hunter gives you super healing, really nice with your Q. Inspiration, go Boots, 5% CDR, or what I like to do right now is Transcendence and Absolute Focus. It's like super scaling. And you can go double Adaptive because you clear really well. You don't need attack speed. Old Taliyah, you needed attack speed. And for skins, you know what I'm saying? I think fellow Taliyah is the best. I tried Pool Pie, it's not that good. But, you know, Samsung also works. Go Samsung, the Snow Taliyah, and then Pool Party Taliyah. Those are the rankings. So let's do scenarios. So your first clear, start your red. I personally always like to get a leash from bot lane, so that's my thing. I'm gonna start red, but instead of going to do 3 camps, which I think a lot of people do on Taliyah, I think it's wrong. So usually your clear will be better because you get a lead from bot lane. We're gonna have to restart the game. We failed the first clear, but you get the point. If you start blue side, you start red. And then I'm gonna look to path to blue right here, and notice how your Q works with the grounded Q. You want to always be moving away from the grounded. It's a habit you'll have to build if you want to be really good at this champ. You have to like always maneuver around your grounded area and try to look for angles where you can use your normal Q instead of the weaker one. So we do blue, and then we're going to do Gromp. And we're going to go E second. I've experimented a lot, and I think E is just a lot better than W in all scenarios. Even if I'm doing single camp buffs, I think E is just better than W. Now I'm going to be level 3. Here you can do wolves, or you can look to gank. Maybe here's a free kill, so you can just run top straight away, level 3. Once you're level 3 on Taliyah, you're really strong. And you should clear by like 230 or 245. And if you're not, you're just gonna farm, and then these 3 camps, and then you're just going to go to Scuttle. Like it should be about 315 right now, and you should be able to kill Scuttle as well really easily. You're gonna be starting blue now instead of red, and you should be getting a leash from your bot lane. This is going to be probably a better clear than red in terms of farming, but you won't be able to gank at level 3 without, well you can, but you won't have a red buff. So as you can see, I'm clearing pretty well actually. This is solo as well, it's really nice. Clear, lay down my E again. Again, notice how I'm clearing, walking around my circles, get maximum efficiency. And notice how I'm kiting the camps away. Always try to pull the camp away from to your next camp that you want to kill for like maximum efficiency. So this is the clear that I'll usually do. And I don't have to smite this, I can just use it for Scuttle Crab. Beautiful. And I kited the red, and now I'm here already, ready to fight for Scuttle Crab. 5 camps, 3 minutes 15. And we get that, and we smite that. So that's really clean. This is more of a farming clear, but you still can gank after 3 camps. If you see an angle, you'll be level 3 by wolves, so you can definitely look. We were already talking about clears, but let's talk about it a little more in depth. I don't talk about this much, but especially on Taliyah as a ranged champion, you always want to be leading with your max range spell on camps, so you can pull the camp to you. And see how the Gromp comes to you, and you pull it to you. You're able to auto attack, kite, and Q again. And you're going to take a lot less damage because you're pulling the camp to you. After I finish Gromp, I'm pulling the blue to me, and then I'm cutting it. If you're really good, you can make this a habit, is when the blue's about to hit you, you could just EW it when it gets close to you and kite back if you're trying to save HP. If you don't care, then you can just tank it. Another thing is proccing your red buff on all the camps, especially. This is just in general, not even Taliyah, but especially in ranged champs, it's really smart to auto attack all the camps if you have red buff. So you get the tick on all 3 of the camps, or all 6, whatever camp you're doing. That's going to save you a lot of time. People often ask me how I have so much health after clearing. It's because I've made these small things a habit. And if you guys can make it a habit, you can actually save a lot of HP and you're going to be able to do more on the map. Notice again how I'm not letting this golem hit me. Once it gets close, then I'm going to knock it back straight away. Now let's talk about ganking angles. So on Taliyah, you mainly want to gank without using your W. So for example, say I'm going to gank mid. I'm going to put a dummy here. I'm going to come around, and the way you want to do it is you want to line your Q up with the guy. So if he's here behind the minions, you don't want to use anything. You just want to auto attack or get in range. And then you use your Q. He's going to walk back, so you just shift you just slide with him with it, whichever side he's going. If he's going left, if he's going right, you just move with him. You don't try to auto attack. I think that's one thing it's hard to get used to, is knowing when to auto attack and when to just follow him with Q. If he's not moving or he's CC, then you can just walk in a straight line and Q auto attack him. So when you should use your W is when you have some sort of CC or you're confident and ready to go. For example, I use my Q, I auto attack, and then I E him, and he's juking, and then I find the right timing, bam, and I W him. That's a really good habit to have, to not use your W straight away. Make him dance, you know. Once you see the right moment, you can flick him. And I recommend smart casting as well. I think not smart casting is kind of limiting yourself on Taliyah. Smart casting in general, I think, is really good. You want to use your E to slow the guy and then wait, and use your Q, your auto attacks. Use your teammate spells to lock people down. And then once they lock them down, you can go for an easy flex. Because with Taliyah, to be honest, your cooldowns are really long. So what's going to happen if you just throw these skills? You actually do no damage. Even if you're fed, you will do no damage. Your Q can get blocked by minions and whatnot. And try to avoid using the threaded volley, the worked ground volley, unless you're going to last it, because it's like a 5-second cooldown. That really limits your DPS in fights. Now we can talk about her ult. The main thing with her ult is you want to use it to get to places. I think using it for team fights, it's very hard to utilize it for team fights, but one thing that you guys can for sure do, use it to get to places. So for example, if bot lane's fighting and you just finished gromp and they're already fighting and there's no blast cone, you can just ult right here. You double tap R and just walk through and you're already ready to gank. Or the other scenario is dragon fight. For example, you can cut them off with the wall. You play on the side and you cut them off with a wall. That also works. You want to cut off the enemy with the wall. So another one is you're in the dragon pit and you ult and you cut them off like this. You have to be really careful though, because you're really squishy. I die a lot on Taliyah, so it's very dangerous to ult behind without knowing if you can kill them or not. And you don't do a lot of damage if you're behind, but if you're ahead, you do a lot of damage and you're really snowballing. Other tip I have for Taliyah is you always want to be rock surfing whenever you can. It really makes a difference sliding against the walls. One of the big reasons why I like Taliyah. Her passive and her ult just makes you really mobile. So now let's talk about builds. For me, I'd say Ludens is the #1 item. I tried Everfrost, it's not great in terms of damage. You can combo people, but you don't do damage. So then you're gonna go Sork Boots, and then I really like Banshees, and I like Medjais. Whenever you guys can get Darksteel, Medjais, it's really good. Along with Banshees, I think Banshees is a really good item right now. It's cheap, gives you MR, gives you CDR, and it's just overall has a good build path too. This Verdant Barrier is a really nice item. To be honest, right now, guys, AP items are really weak, I think, compared to AD items. This is the strongest you're gonna get, is usually Ludens, Sorks, Medjais, Banshees. One thing I don't recommend is going Zhonya's. I think that item's really bad on Taliyah, but if you're versing like double assassin, you might just have to buy it. Zhonya'sing on Taliyah doesn't do anything. Like, you just come out of the room and then you just get destroyed. There's no point in that, is there? So try to avoid buying it, but if you have to, if it's too good, then just buy it. Morello's also not a fan of this item. It gives you health and AP, it doesn't really do anything. Grievous wounds. So I'd say Void Staff and then Rabadons. This would be my ideal build. Ludens, Sorks, Medjais, Banshees, Void Staff, Rabadons. Alright, let's do a quick rundown on how to snowball in Taliyah. This game, I think I went 25-1 or something. It was one of my first games in Korea. Duo with Core JJ. So we're gonna talk about this game. We're on purple side. I start blue, and as I suggested before, I use my E. I kite back. You can't see the grounded, but I'm grounding it. I smite. I do the clear I was talking about. I do red. And this time I do gromp because nothing's happening, you know. No one's fighting. And I'm a little late to the fight. He starts the fight, so the counter gank's really easy. I missed my W, but I open with Q, which is what is important. Pushing lane. As a range champ, you want to abuse your range. And I look to fight the Scuttle Crab. I'm level 4 to level 3. Should be easy fight. I back out a bit, then I come back. See how I hold my W? Even though I missed, he took so much auto damage from Ortex and red. And I flash after him. I know I have my passive, so I know I can chase him. And I have red buff. Here again, notice how I hold my W again. Then I use the flick at the end. So that's how you guys want to combo. So now I've got Lost Chapter, really strong. Again, I hold my W until I feel I'm ready. So that's like pretty much the first 7 minutes. I think that'll be it.
The earth hides many secrets.